Hi guys, it's Chris, back in my cider shed with some more cider to try. And this is one I wasn't expecting to try. My wife was in the shops, she saw it on the shelf, she thought maybe I'd never had it, so she brought it home for me to try. Thank you very much, wife. So, what is it? Well, it is Curious Apple. Now, didn't know anything about this, don't think I've ever had, certainly never had it. Turns out it's made at Chapeldown, which is a winery, which I have heard of, but I didn't know they made cider. They're in Kent, I think. So I think they're going to be using dessert / culinary apples. Let's read just some text here. I haven't read it yet. Let's read it. A clean and aromatic cider using only fully ripe, hand-picked Kentish Reubens and Bramley apples. So yeah, eating apples. Fermented with our Bacchus wine yeast for a premium cider with crisp, fresh aromas of green apple, and hints of elderflower, citrus and kiwi fruit. Okay, so Bacchus yeast, don't know much about that. I assume it's going to ferment to dry, and I assume it's going to be quite neutral as well. That's my assumption. So very different to the wild yeasts that I usually go for on ciders, and very different to the apple varieties I usually go for with ciders and or perries. You know, I go for proper cider apples and or perry pears. More tannin, more acidity, more sugar quite often, and actually better for pressing as well because they're more fibrous. But let's give it a go. It's a gift. Not going to stare a gift horse in the mouth. Not calling my wife a gift horse. No. Okay, so let's open it, shall we? A little bit of a sparkle. Can't see anything in the bottle, so I'll have to pour it out. Maybe still a bit of foam in there. I expect this to be quite pale. It's quite pale. It's very pale. Whoa. That is one pale cider. I mean, that could be, that just taking the top spot for the palest cider we've ever had on the show. Let's just get this thingy-majig behind it. Let's have a look. I mean, there is a very, very slight hint to it, I have to say. But I mean, from what I'm saying, I think that image on the film is actually doing it more justice than it deserves. From what I'm saying, it's really, really clear, really clear. I mean, yeah, it's absolutely bright as a button and barely any colour whatsoever. Okay, which is kind of what I would have expected from this. So, let's give it a sniff, see what we got. Okay, so quite sweet apple. I mean, you can't smell sweet, as we've said before. You don't know until you drink it if it's sweet. But on the nose, it smells like quite a fresh, ripe apple that's just been cut in half, and you associate that with some sweetness generally. So maybe I'm associating it with sweetness, but well, in fact, that is what's happening. Bit of malic acidity in there, I would suggest as well. So apple acidity. Yeah. I mean, when it said hints of elderflower, am I imagining it, or is there some elderflower in there? I mean, if there is, it's fractional. Maybe the vaguest. I don't know. Very, very neutral nose. I mean, just apple. That's it. Fresh apple. Not much else going on, I don't think. Yeah, a little bit green apple acidity on the nose, I would say. So malic. Let's give it a try. Okay. Yeah, malic acidity. Green mouth-watering acidity, which is what I would expect from this. Yeah, hints of, as I said, green apple, fresh aromas of green apple. Yeah, got all that. Citrus, maybe lime. I'll go with the lime character for the citrus. I would say that. Yeah. So basically, malic acid, sort of lime acidity as well, and apple. I mean, that's it. I think it said it was dry as well. It's not bone dry. There's some sweetness in there. Don't know if that's back sweetened fractionally or not. But there's definitely a hint of sweetness. But it's bold acidity. Really bold acidity. I mean, the flavour is a bit like the colour. It really is. It's fine. But, you know, I don't know. Sometimes you see these things, winemakers making cider. I don't know. I think like a winemaking mentality doesn't translate to cider making mentality, you know. Not the sort of ciders I like anyway. It's a lot of intervention, you know, not using the wild yeast, not letting it age to get the malic acid to go to malolactic fermentation, not using apples with bring a lot of structure. You know, they wouldn't make, Chapel Down would not make wine from eating grapes. They wouldn't do it because they wouldn't be able to make good wine from it. However, people do seem to think you can make great cider from eating apples, and it's very much the same thing. It's fine, but that's all it is. And this tastes like most of the cider that I'd ever had that made me think cider wasn't very interesting. Right? This is the sort of thing that put me off cider. It's not cheap and horrible. It's fine, but it's just fine. It doesn't do it for me. I think it's just, you know, it doesn't stand out from the pack in any way, shape or form. So there you go. That was good, wasn't it? One more sip. Also force carbonated. And it is quite fizzy. Yeah, really green malic acid. Not my thing. Not my cup of tea. Sorry, Chapel Down. Sorry, Q cider. Not my cup of tea. Oh, a glass of cider. Okay. Well, that was cheap and cheerful. Quick and cheerful. Whatever it was. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you got something from that. You can get hold of some of this stuff. I'm sure you can. I think my wife bought it in Waitrose, but I'm sure you can get it all over the place. So try it yourself. See what you think. You may love it. And I hope you do. Okay. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back again soon with some more cider to try. But until then, cheers.